If you want to lose weight, stop counting calories and start focusing on high protein. Okay, I used to count calories like a tax auditor. I literally knew how many calories were in my breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. I knew how many calories were in a seed. And do you know how much weight that helped me lose? Not very much. None at all. You know what that did do? Is it created a horrible relationship with food where I was always prioritizing something that was low calorie over high nutrients. So I would think, okay, here's a beautiful meal that's full of protein and fiber and antioxidants and iron and all of the things that are going to fuel my gut, but it's 500 calories. Or I could just have this like lean cuisine or the equivalent, and it's 100 calories. Which one was I going to pick? I picked the bad one. I was always looking for something that was low calorie, low fat, low sugar, all of these things that were pumped full of chemicals. I was counting calories when I should have been focusing on what was on the label and focusing on protein. So now here's the thing. Okay, let's just talk about this. If you're counting calories and you're, calories in, calories out, is that going to help you lose weight? Probably. However, it's only going to make an impact if everything else is in check, that your hormones are balanced. You are eating whole foods. You're prioritizing other nutrients like protein, like fiber, like iron, iodine, all of the things that are going to help fuel your body. And you're not thinking, okay, I'm going to eat this low calorie chocolate bar. I'm going to eat this low calorie bag of chips because it's low calorie. And you're just counting off calories and gamifying your nutrition. There's nothing wrong with gamifying your nutrition at the end of the day, as long as you are eating whole foods, as long as you're getting all those nutrients in. Because here's what happens when you're just counting calories and you're not thinking about all of the other important things. You pick the wrong foods, your body becomes inflamed. You're constantly consuming things like polysorbate 80 and carrageenan and red 40 and red 3 and bluethine and lake and green, blah, 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 blah. All of these ingredients that are actually disrupting your hormones, causing inflammation, destroying your gut health, and just not serving you. They create stress in your body, and then your body holds on to fat. And these things are not serving you. Beyond that, when you're on a crazy caloric deficit, you're trying to lose weight, it is not helping you hit your nutrient goals, but it's also affecting your sleep. Now, hear me out. I saw this quote recently, and it boggled my mind because it said, the best thing I've ever heard is fat. When you go to bed hungry, you're burning fat, and that's how you become super skinny. I'm like, oh my God. Let me tell you something. If you go to bed hungry, you're not really going to go to bed, are you? Now, here's the thing. You do want to give your body time to digest. So you should finish eating 3 hours before you go to sleep. But if you're hungry at that time, if you didn't eat enough throughout the day, that's a sign that you're not eating the right nutrients. You should be able to stop eating 3 hours before bed without feeling hungry. You should be going to bed on an empty stomach, but not feeling hungry. And how does that, you're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, that's insane. How would I not be hungry? Because you're eating the right nutrients, because you're eating high protein. So let's talk about that for a second. Why and how does high protein affect your overall body composition, affect your hormones like GLP-1, ghrelin, leptin? What this does is that it triggers your body's response to feel satisfied. So when it spikes your GLP-1, or rather than spikes, when it stimulates your GLP-1, stimulates your hormones like ghrelin and leptin, you are feeling satisfied longer. So that food is going to last longer and keep you satisfied and reduce the risk of cravings for a longer period of time. It also activates NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which helps your body burn 20 to 30% more calories at rest. And I mean, who doesn't want that? Not only that, but protein fuels muscle growth, which helps with body recomposition. Think about this. High protein plus weightlifting is like built-in Spanx. It cinches in your waist, it tones your arms, it tones your legs, and it gets you into the best shape of your life without having to count calories or be on a diet or be restrictive and all of these crazy things. Guys, at the end of the day, high protein is your best friend for weight loss because what it's going to do is it's going to satisfy your cravings. It's going to keep you feeling satisfied longer. It's going to help your body burn more calories, and it's going to help fuel muscle growth, which is just going to suction everything in. It's going to help give you the body of your dreams without having to do too much. Now, how much on this topic? Let's talk about how much protein your body actually needs. So there's different schools of thought. 0.8 grams per body weight to 1.2 grams. So 0.8 grams is like standard, like the bare minimum that you should have. So let's say you want to weigh 100 pounds. That's probably way lower, but it's just easier to do the math this way. Let's say your goal weight is 100 pounds. You should bare minimum be eating 80 grams of protein throughout the day. Now, realistically speaking, most people's desired body weight is going to be closer to 150, 130, maybe 190, depending on where you're at, right? So if you're only eating 80 grams or worse, 50 grams or less, then you are getting nowhere near. You're probably, I'm guessing, feeling real hungry all the time, feeling like the food noise is really loud, feeling like emotional eating's popping up and attacking you at every corner. That's because your body is just processing the calories it's being given, but it's not working hard to do it. Protein, your body has to work harder to break down, which is where that NEAT comes in. So non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That is where your body's working really hard, burning more calories at rest and keeping you satisfied longer. So that is another huge reason. So the bare minimum you want to do is 0.8 grams per desired body weight. I always like to say, have 1 gram per desired body weight. That's right in the middle. But if you're an athlete or you're trying to put on a lot of muscle, you want to do as much as 1.2 grams. So let's say, just for sake, your desired body weight is 100 grams, but you want to put on muscle, then you want to be eating 120 grams of protein a day. It's fairly simple math, but what I would say is just focus on getting 1 gram of protein per desired body weight. Now, with that said, let's talk about protein, because not all protein is created equal. What you want in a complete protein is that it has all 9 essential amino acids in it. Not all protein sources have this. So let's talk about high protein sources. Meat is always a really great high protein source, and you want to have lean meats. You want to have meats that your body has to work really hard to break down, that aren't going to add a bunch of fat into your diet. And just saying this, so you know, I am a huge proponent of having fat in your diet. Nuts, eggs, sardines, these foods that are rich in good quality sources, olive oil, of omega fatty acids, those are fantastic for you. But if you're on a weight loss journey and you want to be mindful of the types of foods you're eating, I would recommend leaner proteins like lean ground beef, chicken, poultry, fish. Fish is probably the number one best source of protein because you're getting those omega fatty acids and your body's working really hard to break it down. So you're getting so many nutrients from the fish and your body's working hard to burn it, use it, and fuel it, store it, all of the good things. Plant-based sources, let's talk about that. So many people think that you want to eat less meat and more plant-based stuff. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm of the school of thought. You want to eat what feels good intuitively. So listen to your body. If you crave steak, eat steak. If you crave lentils, eat lentils. But be mindful that you are going to get more protein with less overall calories if you're eating a steak than you are with eating lentils. But again, I don't want you to think too much about calories. I want you to listen to your body and see what feels good. Quinoa is a complete protein, but it's not super high in protein. However, because it is a complete protein, it's a great thing to add in. So rather than rice, opt for quinoa. Lentils are another great source of protein. Beans, nuts. Spirulina is actually a complete protein, believe it or not. There are tons of plant-based sources. With all this said, I could go through every single type of protein and how it breaks down. Better yet, I have a high protein cheat sheet and a high protein recipe PDF that I can send you. So let me know and I'll send you the links so that you can download those PDFs. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Protein powders, protein bars, high protein desserts and snacks. I am definitely a proponent of eating whole foods. That is a way that you can eat food, feel good, not ever have to think about calories, not worry about what you're eating, because your body has to work really hard to break those things down. Yes, some things might not sit as well with you as others, and that's where the intuitive eating comes in. However, if you are eating 90% whole foods, you get the other 10% from things like yogurt, high quality protein powder, high quality dry or pressed cottage cheese, that's fine. But when we get into protein bars, high protein desserts, high protein ice cream, gimmicky things like that, guys, my biggest tip is look at the ingredients, because there's a lot of ingredients out there that are going to work against you, shoot you in the foot, as they say. You want to avoid polysorbate 80. You want to avoid carrageenan. You want to avoid mono and diglycerides. You want to avoid any food coloring. So be very mindful when you're looking at what food you're eating that comes in a package and what is in that package. Honestly, milk alternatives can be some of the worst. Some of the healthiest things, gluten-free breads, guys. Just because something is masquerading as a health food, you gotta be careful. Anything that comes in a package, read the label. Be wise. Be your own advocate when it comes to which foods you're eating and what ingredients you're putting into your body. You want to have a healthy gut. You want to have a healthy inflammation response. You want to have a healthy insulin response. And you want to have a healthy body. Because when everything's optimized, that's when your weight loss becomes automatic. So if you want to lose weight, stop counting calories, start counting protein. Start focusing on protein to stimulate your GLP-1, your ghrelin, and your leptin hormones that will help keep you satisfied longer. Focus on protein because your body has to work harder to process it, which is going to stimulate NEAT, the non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is going to burn 20 to 30% more calories at rest. And focus on protein if you want to get that Spanx effect, because it's going to fuel lean muscle growth, and no, you won't get bulky. I'm trying to build muscle, okay? But that is going to cinch everything in. It's going to tone your arms. It's going to sculpt your waist. It's going to tone your legs. It's going to boost your glutes. All of those things to get into this like the best shape of your life. Guys, stop counting calories and start prioritizing protein. Now, one little benefit if you really want to take this to the next level, prioritize fiber. Fiber is another one that is really, really going to amplify your satiety. It's going to help improve your overall gut health, for one. It's going to help with your insulin resistance. It's going to help balance your blood glucose, and it's going to help keep you fuller longer. Increase protein, increase fiber, increase weight loss. That's all. That's it. Don't count calories. Don't restrict yourself. Don't drive yourself crazy thinking about what you ate and what you didn't, blah, 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 all those things. Stop being a tax auditor for calories like I was, and start eating high protein and high fiber. That's it, guys. That's step one. There's more, obviously, so come back and we'll chat. Now, if you like this post, check out my blog. I have a blog that goes deep into all of this, goes into more details that you can read at your own leisure. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because this may be the first, but there'll be many more. And check out my workouts. And if you want the high protein recipes or the high protein cheat sheet, let me know. Comment below and I'll send it to you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Mwah!